What are you hungry for? No, I don't mean like, where do you want to eat? Because we all know the answer. I don't care, whatever you want. No, I mean more of what Jesus says. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Or, as the Message puts it, you're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. He's food and drink and the best meal you'll ever eat. So again, what are you hungry for? What are you thirsty for? What sustains you? What keeps you feeling whole and satisfied? For certain people among us, the answer is simple: perfection. We all know those people who want everything to be done right, for everything to be as good as it possibly could be. We know those who chase perfection in all they do, how they raise their family, how they perform academically, how they clean their house, how they organize the files on their computer. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. They have a very binary view of the world. Right, wrong, black, white, good, evil, straight, crooked. Good enough is not good enough. When it comes to personality types, we appropriately call these types perfectionists. Sometimes they're also called reformers because they have a way of seeing what's wrong with the system or organization and then acting to change it. And this can be great for a business. It can be less great with relationships. And it's kind of weird. Perfectionists know they are perfectionists, but they can't tell you why they feel pressure to be perfect. Perfectionists have a tendency to should all over everyone and everything. You should do this. You should have done that. You shouldn't do that ever. You should always do this. In their pursuit to make the world around them perfect, they are plagued by the phrase, good enough. If you're a Harry Potter fan, think Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series. But the problem is that we live in an imperfect world. The solution is not to should all over everything until it becomes perfect. That's never going to happen. And it will only lead to frustration, anger, and burnout. The solution for these types is to love. Jesus says at the end of Matthew 5, be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. But the content of perfection in this instance is love, specifically love for one's enemies. In other words, when we can simply love without agenda, without expecting anything in return, without expecting people to change, then we can experience perfection as God defines it. Perfectionists put a lot of pressure on themselves to avoid mistakes and to do everything correctly. But see, God urges us to let go of those pressures and walk in love. Instead of chasing your own perfection, seek God's righteousness. And when we seek God's righteousness above all else, then we will be made full and complete and whole like we never could have known before.